Welcome to the Iraqi Dinar Update channel, your trusted source for the latest news, analysis, and insights on the Iraqi dinar. We provide up-to-date information on exchange rates, economic developments, and key financial trends affecting Iraq's currency. Whether you're an investor, trader, or simply keeping an eye on the market, our channel delivers accurate reports, expert opinions, and government policy updates to keep you informed. Stay tuned for real-time updates and in-depth discussions on the future of the Iraqi dinar. I'll expand on your argument by explaining how Iran has allegedly influenced Iraq's financial system through the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, auctions, the role of Iranian-backed politicians, and the impact of Iranian-controlled media on Iraq's economy. I'll break it down into detailed sections, covering the mechanisms of financial exploitation, corruption, and the broader consequences on Iraq's purchasing power. Since 2003, Iraq's financial and political landscape has been deeply intertwined with Iranian influence. While Iraq's economy has always faced structural challenges, Iran's intervention has compounded the problem by exploiting Iraq's financial system to bypass sanctions, control political decision-making, and manipulate public discourse through media ownership. One of the primary ways Iran has extracted wealth from Iraq is through the currency auctions conducted by the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, which were initially designed to stabilize the dinar but have instead become a channel for capital flight, money laundering, and economic manipulation. This systematic exploitation has significantly weakened Iraq's purchasing power and stifled economic development, keeping the country financially dependent and politically unstable. The CBI's currency auctions were introduced to provide a mechanism for exchanging Iraqi dinars for US dollars to facilitate international trade. However, these auctions quickly became a tool for corruption, as politically connected entities, many with ties to Iran, used them to siphon billions of dollars out of Iraq. Iranian-backed politicians and business elites leveraged these auctions to secure large amounts of dollars at the official rate, only to sell them on the black market at a much higher rate, profiting from the artificial spread. This process drained Iraq's foreign reserves while strengthening Iran's access to much-needed hard currency, particularly as it faced U.S. and international sanctions that restricted its ability to engage in global financial markets. Iranian-affiliated financial networks used Iraqi banks as conduits for these operations, often setting up shell companies or leveraging existing financial institutions that had close ties to Tehran. This manipulation of the currency auctions allowed Iran to move billions of dollars across the border, effectively using Iraq's financial system as a lifeline to support its own economy and fund its regional activities. The U.S. Treasury Department has repeatedly sanctioned Iraqi banks suspected of facilitating these transactions, but enforcement has been inconsistent, allowing the scheme to continue largely unabated. The influence of Iranian-backed politicians in Iraq's parliament has ensured that reforms to curb this financial leakage remain stalled or watered down. These politicians, many of whom have direct ties to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, or Tehran's political elite, use their positions to shield corrupt financial networks from scrutiny. They block efforts to introduce transparency in banking regulations, resist international oversight, and ensure that key positions within Iraq's financial institutions remain occupied by individuals who prioritize Iran's interests over Iraq's economic sovereignty. The Iraqi parliament, instead of serving as a body for national development, has become a battleground where Iranian-aligned factions push policies that ultimately weaken Iraq's financial independence. Beyond direct financial manipulation, Iran has exerted substantial influence over Iraq's public discourse by controlling major media outlets, including television networks and newspapers. Iranian-affiliated media in Iraq shape public perception, suppress dissenting voices, and promote narratives that align with Tehran's strategic interests. This control over information ensures that the Iraqi public remains misinformed about the true causes of economic decline, directing blame away from Iran's exploitation and instead framing the crisis as a result of external factors, such as Western interference or domestic mismanagement. In reality, the siphoning of Iraq's wealth through financial channels and political manipulation has played a central role in the country's economic stagnation. As a direct consequence of these policies, Iraq's purchasing power has been eroded. The value of the Iraqi dinar remains artificially suppressed due to the constant outflow of hard currency through illicit financial networks. Inflation, currency depreciation, and a lack of foreign investment have left Iraqi citizens struggling to afford basic necessities. While Iraq is a resource-rich nation, with vast oil reserves that should provide economic prosperity, the reality is that ordinary Iraqis see little benefit from their country's wealth. Instead, much of it is drained away through corruption, mismanagement, and external manipulation, leaving the population to suffer from high unemployment. Despite multiple efforts by Iraq's central bank and international agencies to reform the financial system, Iran's entrenched influence continues to obstruct meaningful change. The few attempts to tighten banking regulations, improve financial transparency, and reduce dependency on the currency auctions have been met with resistance from those benefiting from the status quo. Iran, for its part, has no interest in seeing Iraq develop a robust and independent economy, as that would weaken its leverage over its neighbor. The long-term consequences of this financial exploitation are severe. Iraq's youth face a bleak economic future, as opportunities for social mobility remain scarce due to systemic corruption and financial instability. The country's reliance on oil exports, combined with poor fiscal management, makes it vulnerable to external shocks, such as fluctuations in global oil prices. Without urgent reforms, Iraq risks becoming a permanently dependent state, unable to assert its economic sovereignty or improve the living conditions of its people. Ultimately, the looting of Iraq's wealth through the CBI auctions, political infiltration, and media manipulation represents a sophisticated strategy by Iran to maintain its grip on the country. While Iraqi leaders often speak of reform and independence, the reality is that as long as these financial and political structures remain in place, Iraq will struggle to reclaim control over its own economy. Addressing this issue requires not only domestic political will but also stronger international pressure to dismantle the networks that enable this systematic theft. Thank you for tuning into the Iraqi Dinar Update channel. We appreciate your support and engagement as we continue to bring you the latest news, analysis, and updates on the Iraqi Dinar. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an important update. Stay connected with us for real-time insights, expert discussions, and market trends. Until next time, stay informed and keep watching for the latest on the Iraqi Dinar. See you in the next update.